So it looks like, for some reason or another, Elon Musk decided to highlight once again Shoe on Head. Looks like he's a new fan. He says, worth noting that any USAID funding that appeared to have the slightest merit whatsoever for helping people in need was moved to the State Department. Only the funding where they provided no evidence at all for who would receive the money was stopped. And he shares her video link. And it is at 4.8 million views. Now, the last time I checked her video, I believe it was at 1.6 million. Now, granted, even though this did come out while I was a live streamer, while I was a YouTuber, still am, don't know why I'm speaking in the past tense, but I never reacted to it. So, because of Elon Musk, he has inspired me to do a reaction of old content, and it totally has nothing to do with the fact that last week I already reacted to a Shoe on Head video. Has nothing to do with getting 25 more subscribers, or almost 2,000 views, or almost over 400 watch time hours. Has nothing to do with that, clearly. But we're going to watch it anyways and hope for the best.
Donald Trump, along with Elon Musk, have created a new government agency called DOGE. And what I originally thought was just an older sibling giving a younger sibling an unplugged video game controller actually turned into a real thing. And their first order of business was dismantling USAID, an innocent government program that
USAID. I'm sorry, I'm not going to call it USAID. It's very deceiving. It is just clever marketing that doesn't aid anybody but the interests of loonies. That's all it does.
helped poor people all around the world. Or was it? Hello, and welcome back to the Shoe on Head channel. I am Shoe on Head, and I am not real. I am a figment of your imagination. You have been in a coma since 2012. Wake up.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Coma since 2012, but sorry, woke up a few years ago. I think I'm good now, though.
Wake up. Today we will be talking about the dark, seedy underbelly of USAID. This is a topic I've been interested in for a very long time now. And now that recently USAID has been in the news, I figured it is a perfect time to finally talk about it. All the mainstream liberal coverage I've seen of this has basically been late-night talk show hosts.
Yeah, and? I can... Hey, Benjamin. It's okay to simp if you simp responsibly. No one mentions that part. You gotta simp responsibly. Call me Shoe.
Crying fake tears about it being dismantled, and all the mainstream Republican coverage has just been about all the woke shit USAID was apparently funding. But I promise you, it is more than that. A lot more. If you're not a very political person and you only come here to consume the Reddit gender war slop, you should still stick around for this because this gets juicy. And remember,
Shoe, I inhale anything you put out. And take that whichever way you want. Just being honest.
even if you're not interested in politics, politics is interested in you. And trust me, I understand why some people aren't interested in politics. It's confusing, it's stressful, it's a lot to keep up with. I feel like 500 things happen every single day. So Donald Trump and Elon Musk created the Department of Government Efficiency, aka DOGE. Get it? Like the Reddit meme from 20...
I'm sorry, but it was one of the best memes that turned into a government agency that has ever existed and probably will ever exist. We memed a department into the government. Like, that should be some sort of world record. Like, someone called Guinness.
2012. Epic bacon, my fellow memers. Honestly, who am I to talk about dead memes? My username is Shoe on Head. So Doge's supposed goal seems to be cutting useless spending the government is making us pay taxes on. Now, I have very mixed feelings about taxes. From each according to his ability, to each according to his needs. Taxation is theft! The tree of liberty will be refreshed with the blood of tyrants! My opinion
Yeah, that sums it up just right.
has always been, if we are going to pay taxes in this country, could they at least go to things that actually help people, like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, child tax credits, firefighters, fixing our bridges and roads, castrating pedophiles, government-funded girlfriends, things like that. And yes, we should be auditing the government.
The important stuff.
I think that's a good thing. Frankly, I don't care who does it as long as they do it well. Good things are good, bad things are bad. I'm anti-bad things.
Wait. Okay, it's still at 1.6 million views. That's weird. I'm wondering if it's going to update tomorrow.
Pro-good things. Those are my politics. And hating libertarians. Just kidding, I love libertarians. I get along great with them. As long as we don't talk about child labor. Anyway, Doge got straight to work, firing government workers and basically hiring my Twitter mutuals. What was once a theater kid-occupied government is now a right-wing schizo poster-occupied government.
And we'd love every minute of it. Or at least I do.
No, I am not joking.
So this is a 19-year-old high school graduate who has used the unfortunate nickname Big Balls online.
A lot of balls conversation in this stream today, don't you think? Lady balls, man balls, basketballs, your balls, my balls, there's just a bunch of balls.
So that would be one way that we could refer to him. He is now working at Musk's behest inside DOGE.
If you had told me 10 years ago that Donald Trump and Elon Musk would hire some Zoomer named Big Balls to help audit the government...
Because it's awesome.
I'd believe it. Like, yeah, that checks out. They have no relevant experience. Most of them aren't old enough to rent a car. They're not even old enough to rent a car. They're in their 20s. We sent 18-year-olds to go die in the wars you cheerlead on, you evil hag. Why are they...
Yeah. They can't even rent a car. But you want them to fight a war. Funny how that works.
So focused on the ages of these people, when our government is basically a retirement home. But honestly, I don't blame Hillary Clinton. If I were her, I also wouldn't want 22-year-olds in the government.
Oh. Shoe dropped? Anybody? Anybody? Shoe dropped? I'll be here all week.
Months before dismantling the Department of Education, or apparently Sesame Street, Doge's first order of business was dismantling USAID.
Without providing any proof, Elon said
Oh, fuck this guy. He's moved on to ruin Lord of the Rings. He just won't go away.
USAID is a criminal organization. Oh, yeah. They're an international crime syndicate hell-bent on helping people.
Pretty f***ed up, huh? Taking money away from an aid program that helps poor people all around the world. Except USAID was not exactly that. In fact, it doesn't even f***ing stand for aid. It stands for United States Agency for International Development.
Building countries up by transing the animals.
It has f*** all to do with aid. But honestly, I don't blame you for thinking it does. After all, they do make the word aid a different color in the logo. Those sneaky bastards. Although it said USAID provides 42% of global aid.
Because they get other people surrounding them to fail upward together. Oh, you have the mind virus too? Well, I want someone like you along. You'll do as I say. Then we can all fail upward. We can lose billions of dollars and still fail upward. And then, fuck around and find out came. And FAFO has been the motto of this administration, and I love every minute of it.
The truth is, most of those funds are just spent paying US contractors and secretly conducting regime change all around the world. In fact, 80% of all USAID funding goes to just 75 organizations, while only 6%.
That is just insane. You'd think that they'd be like going to like other governments directly, or like doctors, you know, without borders, building bridges. But no, they do fuck all with it.
Of that goes to aid. And by auditing USAID, DOGE exposed the true, real puppet masters behind the secret cabal of evil masterminds funding the woke ideology spreading all around the globe. You. Yes, it was you, American taxpayer. Turns out the deep state was the friends we made along the way. And yes, it's true, we are spending billions of dollars in our tax money to fund things like teaching Sri Lankan journalists how to avoid binary gendered language.
I thought we were already doing that here in the States. Why are we shoving Sri Lankan people? Why are we shoving this in Sri Lankan's people's throat? Why? They didn't do anything to deserve that.
Combating disinformation in Kazakhstan, promoting inclusion in Vietnam, millions to an Armenian LGBT group, millions to rebuild the Cuban media ecosystem, millions for LGBT...
That one made no sense to me. So wait, we sanction the hell out of them. We don't do any sort of commerce with them, but we had an entire department funding them to rebuild a communist society with a country that doesn't work with us whatsoever. In fact, we take in their refugees because it's so horrible there. Right.
Causes in the Western Balkans, millions for LGBT activism in Uganda, millions for atheism in Nepal, millions for male circumcision around the world, and $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala.
Why? Because.
And many other things that were so ridiculous I had to double check to make sure I wasn't being trolled. Taxpayer-funded sex changes in Guatemala? We don't even do that here! Now, you might be saying, Shoo, this seems like—
Well, we kind of do. At least, I don't think we're doing it with federal tax dollars now, but I do understand that it's still happening, I think, on the state level. I don't know. There's so much in USAID. I don't even think that they've unpacked all of it.
like some stupid anti-woke shit. And yeah, kind of. You got me. But I ask you, young naive liberal, why the f*** was John Bolton once the head of USAID? John Bolton, for those of you who are unaware, is an infamous neocon hack. He's literally criticized Trump for not being enough of a warmonger. Neocon hacks, for those same few of you who are unaware, are the people in our government responsible for meddling with other countries all around the world and getting us into wars for basically funsies.
Remember when I was talking about red flags earlier? That was one of them. That was our bad. But granted, we didn't know. We didn't know what USAID was doing. We didn't know.
The people who suck the teat of Raytheon, Boeing, etc. The military-industrial complex's favorite Discord kittens. These guys come in shades of red and blue. So why was John Bolton, a red guy, in charge of the same program, USAID, that is sending American taxpayer money to foreign countries to have things like trans pride parades?
Because I think the CIA was using USAID to funnel funds to other countries in order to get political agreement and alignment and bribes. And then the transgender stuff was just a bonus.
The truth is, the USAID thing goes a lot deeper than what a lot of Republican commentators are saying. It wasn't just a bunch of libtards in government wasting our money on stupid woke things. No, there's way more than that. You see, it's current year and we can't just do old-fashioned imperialism anymore. The people don't like that. It's a new era, so we have to dress it up in glitter. And rainbows. To put it bluntly, USAID is nothing but another form of taxpayer—
So many. So many rainbows. Too many. Too many rainbows.
funded regime change, wearing an innocent mask of aid. Shut up, Shu! You dumb bimbo populist! You reactionary shitlord! You cry, tears running down your fat, retarded face. The United States is just giving foreign countries billions of dollars out of the kindness of their hearts! Oh yeah? I have a lovely bridge on sale down the road. Would you like to buy it? Listen, despite all—
Like Christopher Titus said, even though he's a incredibly woke comedian now, get off your cross, use the wood to build a bridge, and get over it.
faults, I love America, and I love the American people. But if you believe the corrupt, greedy bureaucrats running the deep state of this country do anything out of the kindness of their hearts, you are a sweet, innocent angel, and you need to be protected.
I used to be a sweet little baby angel, but then my heart was blackened, and that's why I wear the mask. To reflect my blackened heart. Why am I speaking like Batman? I don't know how long this bit is gonna go for. Okay, I think we're done.
I especially side-eye any leftist who has the nerve to run defense for USAID, especially those who call themselves socialists or commies, considering the fact that USAID was basically originally created to destroy communist countries all around the world.
Yep.
Established in 1961 by President John F. Kennedy under the noble guise of aiding developing nations, USAID was, in many respects, an instrument during the Cold War to counter Soviet influence and keep the Third World from crafting its own socioeconomic model. A year after President John Kennedy created USAID in 1961, he told his directors that, as we do not want to send American troops to a great many areas where freedom may be under attack, we send you. It wasn't long before the CIA spotted an opportunity to extend its reach. In 1962, USAID launched its Office of Public Safety to send agents around the world under the guise of training police officers. But as it turned out, the trainers—
Yeah, it sounded like essentially a spy program. That's why I say the CIA. I think they're in deep shit with this. Somehow they've avoided the entire thing. I honestly think CIA is totally in on this.
were busy teaching enhanced interrogation techniques, a euphemism for torture. The scandal broke out in 1966, and although the office was finally shut down in 1974, the dark practices persisted within military and intelligence circles. By 1980, USAID Administrator John Gilligan was candid enough to describe the agency as nothing more than a graduate school for the CIA. At one time, many aid field offices were infiltrated from top to bottom with CIA people, he said. It was pretty well known in the agency who they were and what they were up to. The idea was to plant operatives in every kind of activity we had overseas, government, volunteer, religious, every kind.
Yep. Dude, it's been so long since this video. I forgot all about her mentioned CIA. I just literally just came off the dome. I was like, this sounds like CIA.
USAID was quickly nicknamed the CIA's little sister. Oh, and here's John Bolton holding a trophy given to him by USAID in the shape of a hand grenade. Yeah, nothing to see here, folks. So let's talk about Zune Zaneo, shall we? Sit down. I love this story. Taken directly from Wikipedia, Zunzaneo was an online social networking and microblogging service created by the United States Agency for International Development, aka USAID, and marketed to Cuban users. It was covertly developed as a long-term strategy to encourage Cuban youths to revolt against the nation's government. The developers aimed to use non-controversial.
We kind of tried to do that with Iran recently. We tried to get the youth and the people against the Iranian government to overthrow them. Iranian government, in response, killed like 50,000 people. And we're like, open the Strait of Hormuz. Wow, I can't say it. Hormuz or else. And they're like, no. And they're like, okay, we tried to use the youth. Now we're just going to bomb the shit out of you. Bye-bye.
Content such as sports and music to build up subscribers and then to slowly introduce political messages through social bots to encourage dissent in an astroturfing initiative. So basically, USAID created a fake-ass social media platform in Cuba with our tax dollars, flooded it with bot content about like sports and music and whatever, just to make it seem normal, then slowly started to manipulate the users and create political division on the app between Cuban citizens in order to create political chaos in this country and a potential uprising. So yeah, how dare we take money away from those starving undercover agents? To make things,
they were starving. They only had what are they called? MREs. They had those little oatmeal packets. Money towards a good cause.
Even more sus, the money we spent on Zunzaneo was publicly documented as an unnamed project in Pakistan. Yes, this fake-ass social media psyop they created in Cuba was documented by our government as being a project in Pakistan. Now, think of all the other weird shit USAID was supposedly funding. Those sex changes in Guatemala. Were they really sex changes in Guatemala? Or
I don't think they were sex changes in Guatemala. I think it was a front to recruit double agents. So I am wondering, did anyone get a sex change in Guatemala? Like if you really think about it, I mean, on one hand, I'm pissed that, it's labeled that way. But I kind of hope that my tax money actually did the thing that they wanted it to do at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pissed about it. But did some middle-aged man achieve his dream to become a her? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm just having fun at this point.
Or were they some covert psyop being done somewhere else in the world? I guess we'll never know now. Using social media to divide the masses and create. You don't think? No. They wouldn't do that. I mean, it's kind of weird they asked the former founder of Twitter to help with this project, but no. They would only do social media psyops in other countries, right? Right? In March 2024, a document was exposed that revealed USAID was running covert psyops all around the internet in order to combat populist misinformation about the government on Twitch, Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, and 4chan. Although its internal justification
4chan did throw me for a loop there, but in some way, I can see how that can happen.
Was halting the flow of mis- and disinformation, it seemed particularly concerned with malinformation, a concept it defines as speech that is factually correct but misleading, i.e., bothersome truths the US government would prefer the public does not know. USAID suggests directing the public toward mainstream corporate sources of information and psychologically inoculating them against inconvenient facts that challenge US power by pre-bunking information before people see it. Pre-bunking includes discrediting the brand, the credibility, and reputation of those making false allegations. In other words, a state-directed attack against alternative media and critics of the US government.
independent news sources. The COVID era taking down YouTube channels, YouTube videos. Steven Crowder, Tim Pool, hell, Philip DeFranco. They didn't like that people were actually getting their voice back. Think about it.
So basically, USAID was funding a bunch of dorks to go all around social media and be like, source? Every time someone criticizes the government. This is somehow more pathetic than when I used to use an alt account to defend myself on BreadTube subreddits. That is basically what our government was doing. Also, I like how this implies the people you call to Fed online.
Alternative accounts? who would do such a thing? Not me. No.
Might have actually been a Fed. There is a chance that you may have fought with a federal agent, a USAID federal agent on Twitter or 4chan. This also implies that, like, streamers and social media influencers may have been funded by USAID. But who? Who among us? Who would be willing to unquestionably, enthusiastically suck establishment cock that hard?
For all the bad stuff America does around the world.
Oh, Destiny. There's pictures of him on the internet sucking off a rooster. I love the internet.
USAID was just an organization that did a lot of nice things, like it put a lot of money into efforts to help people in a variety of ways, like both materially and culturally. It's just like a nice way for the United States to have a positive presence around the world.
For the record, I do not actually believe Destiny is being funded by USAID. I just thought that transition was funny. I fucking love that quote though. USAID
And it was hilarious. Because you're very clever, Shu.
was just a nice organization that did a lot of nice things, like culturally help people around the world. Culturally help people? Why are we in the business of cultural imperialism? Why do we have to culturally enrich Latin America or the fucking Balkans? So not only are we the world police, but we are now the world HR department? No.
Well, it does make sense. We HR'd all of our corporations. We HR'd all of the nonprofits. We HR'd men into oblivion. And because HR can't reproduce, they have to spread the woke mind virus. That's how it works.
Oh, thank you. Why are we spending billions of dollars doing fuck-ass shit in other countries while ours crumbles? I don't care about teaching gender studies to Ugandans. The pothole in front of my house hasn't been filled in 3 years. These are my taxes, and I believe my taxes should go to help people in my country. I don't think that's controversial to say. And I know many conservatives agree with me. I'll always hear them say, we can't be spending money in Ukraine. We have to take care of our own. And then they just don't take care of their own. Because that's socialism or communism or something. Listen, do you actually want to take care of your own? Do you actually want your taxes to go towards helping the poor and sick and families in this country? Are you actually America first, or are you corpos and foreign countries first? I'm more than happy to work with you on good things to fix this country. But I don't think the establishment GOP is.
You don't want able-bodied workers on a program that is intended, for example, for single mothers with 2 small children who's just trying to make it. That's what Medicaid is for. Not for 29-year-old males sitting on their couches playing video games. We're going to...
They shouldn't give me the money. And the government should be more responsible. But a man needs bread, boys. A man needs bread.
find those guys and we're going to send them back to work.
First of all, Medicaid is for anyone who needs it, period. And second of all...
But I want to be one of the unemployed.
29-year-old guys? You mean your fucking voter base? You mean the very demographic that is shifting the entire country in your direction? Those guys? Yeah, we're just wasting so much money helping young men. Those greedy gamers just gobbling up all the tax money. Not massive.
Yeah, yep. That's what I do. It's not like majority of men's taxes, go to women or anything. By a large margin. Putting us in debt. Never having funds to get married or own a house. Or have children. Nah, we're fine. Boys, we're fine.
Tax cuts to corporations and the rich. Not all the money to the bloated military-industrial complex. No. Gamers. Young men who can't find a job, can't afford a house, can't afford college. Young men who can't build a family because of the society you created.
Man, I hate the stories. Because the thing is, I've heard these stories from people I know. My dad, he worked at the plywood mill over the summer, paid for his entire year at a university. No freaking joke. That's how bad the economy is.
Those guys, they need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and pay for their own Medicare. This care isn't for them, it's for women. What? Great to know both sides of the establishment fucking hate young men. Anyway, sorry, I popped off. Let's get back on topic. Now, USAID did do some good things. I won't deny that. But even some of the good things that USAID did were nothing but a bunch of fronts. Using Cuba as an example again, because these are some of the only ones that have...
Yes, because why would we send money to Cuba? We have no reason to send money to Cuba. We have, in fact, like I said before, we have sanctions against Cuba. Like, no one's supposed to be doing any trade with them. We literally block oil from them to receive. Like, what are we doing?
Been exposed so far. There was a USAID program called the Travelers Project that was said to be an HIV prevention workshop. But yet again, it was nothing but another covert regime change psyop. This was exposed in 2014 by the Associated Press. Young Venezuelans and Peruvians were deployed by USAID to Cuba's college campuses for $5.41 an hour. Really, USAID? Billions of dollars force feminizing mice and you can't even pay your spies a living wage? Sad. Anyway, they were used to recruit college students into political organizations with the goal of turning them against their government. The goal of, once again, creating political division.
So we were Roy Singer. It's kind of like, I don't know, kind of sounds like we're Roy Singer, that guy in China who's funding all these nonprofit groups who end up having signs everywhere day of. Still unsure how that happens.
Exposed memos about this, USAID called their HIV workshop the, quote, perfect excuse. Right. But we're totally funding DEI in Vietnam for pure humanitarian reasons, I'm sure. This was done so sloppily that even our boy John Bolton came out and disavowed it. But
I wonder if that's what started. I know it's in South Korea, but is the BBB movement like essentially like the Asian version of feminism? Is that Vietnam or is that South Korea, or is it both? I think it's South Korea, but it wouldn't surprise me if that was going on in Vietnam too.
without saying he thought it was a good idea in principle. Yes, it's a great idea to create taxpayer-funded secret psyops all over the world in order to f*** with other countries' politics. Just don't recruit teenagers to do it next time, okay? What? I honestly just think it's kind of funny we were funding anti-socialist agendas all around the world and disguising it as social progressivism. Don't think too hard about that one. Now, Cuba wasn't the only place USAID was culturally helping. On January 12, 2010, a 7.0 magnitude earthquake struck Haiti, killing 220,000 people.
And then we brought him over here. And now we really want to him out. They won't leave our cats alone.
Injuring another 300,000 and leaving 1.5 million more homeless. In the wake of the catastrophe, the United States provided 1.6 billion in reconstruction funding to Haiti, 651 million of which went to USAID. Rather than employing Haitian construction companies, USAID contracted out the rebuilding projects to international firms. For instance, Minnesota-based construction firm Thor was awarded 18 million in contracts, and Mexico-based firm Cemex received over 7 million. But by far the largest recipient of USAID funding in Haiti was Washington, D.C.-based contractor Chemonics International, who received over 200 million to carry out a total of 141 projects. In fact, USAID awarded...
What were these projects? What did they do? Where are the receipts? Yeah, Chemonics. I remember them showing up. I think I was going to do a video on them like a long time ago.
More money to Chemonics than to the entire Haitian government in the wake of the earthquake. An audit conducted on Chemonics revealed that the company had a tendency to not finish jobs, evaluated its own project on arbitrary criteria, not having to do anything with the project, and failed to set timelines, causing some projects to fall behind schedule. In one case, Chemonics was contracted to build Haiti's new parliament building, but what they constructed came out half-finished and unusable. The company only built the framework of the building, not even erecting interior walls to divide off
Erecting.
the spaces, nor did they bother to furnish the building. Left with this, the Haitian government was forced to draw $775,000 from its public treasury to complete the project. Despite these disastrous results, Chemonics to this day remains USAID's top contractor. The construction company was awarded $506.4 million in contracts in 2021.
I wonder how much they just pocketed just because. And then we have like all these senators and congressmen who are just like, no, it needs to go. We need to have this money there to fund other nations. We won't mention that it's actually coming right back to the Democratic Party. Hey, and let's not lie, it's definitely going to the military-industrial complex. Wouldn't surprise me if a good chunk of it went to the Republican Party too. But guess what? The Republican Party is opening their books more so the Democratic Party is. And guess what? The Democratic Party right now, if you haven't heard, they're dead broke, and they took out a loan against their own mortgage for $15 million recently so they can stay afloat. It's kind of weird that once USAID went out of the picture, they started losing money. I don't know, kind of weird. Kind of weird that they started losing money. You don't see rap music in the top 40 anymore. Makes you think.
In a leaked email exposed by WikiLeaks, they described this tragedy as a gold rush, ensuring that it would be great for international companies. Seems like the only thing they are culturally helping is their own wallets, am I right? And you know how you always hear about how poor people are in Venezuela and how the politicians are so rich and live in luxury? Yeah, part of that has to do with USAID. Billions of dollars of aid we sent to Venezuela just lined the pockets of US-backed politicians there. Only 2% of the aid we sent to Venezuela actually went to help Venezuelans. So at this point, the whole world was basically sick of USAID's bullshit.
Only 2%. I know this is all old news that, came out, like almost a year ago. But hearing it again pisses me off more, but also makes me hopeful that it's no longer in existence. That it was transferred to the State Department, where hopefully the money is actually being looked at a little better.
In 2013, Bolivian President Evo Morales expelled USAID officials from his country on the grounds that the agency had conspired against his government by allegedly manipulating social movements in the country.
Look, we get it. It was a psyop. It was a psyop for political gain to regime change other countries in order for the United States to look a little better. We could have just built shit here, gotten more jobs, more contracts to fix the potholes in our streets, get more men working. But no, just had to give it to other countries. Why not? It's just my money. It's just like $500 a paycheck that, the state and the federal government take for this bullshit.
He also charged that a previous USAID program that sought to help cocoa farms switch to new crops was politically motivated. Russia expelled the agency in 2012 for similar reasons. Its foreign ministry argued in a statement that USAID attempts to influence political processes through its grants. And in February, Kenyan Cabinet Secretary Francis Kimemia claimed that his
Kenya and Russia, they were able to sniff it out and kick him out. And we didn't learn till now? Or in the last year?
Government had evidence that USAID had hired activists to organize anti-government protests in Nairobi in an effort to
That's the theory, Benjamin. That's the theory.
topple the government. Oh, and if you're wondering why so many news outlets and journalists were freaking out over the potential shutting down of USAID, yeah, it's probably because it's where their paychecks were coming from. Yeah, apparently USAID was funding about 6,200 journalists and 707 news outlets all across the world.
So we had a secret propaganda machine for lefty lunatics that was a blank check all throughout the world to spread the woke mind virus. That's what it was. I think if you just boil it down to that, that's what it was.
Not even just America. For example, the editor-in-chief of a Ukrainian news outlet wrote that destroying USAID was a greater threat to Ukrainian journalism than the Russian invasion. What? There were independent outlets shutting down everywhere, including Russia after the USAID freeze. So we were apparently funding media in both Ukraine and Russia.
I'm playing both sides so that I always come out on top.
Serbia, Moldova, all across Latin America, independent outlets shutting down everywhere. All because the little sister of the CIA can't pay no mo. So I have a question. Why the f were we funding media in all these other countries? Well, the CEO for the Center of Investigative Reporting, a USAID-supported Bosnian media organization, said it best. Quote, if you are funded by the US government, there are certain topics that you would simply not go after, because the US government has its interests that are above all else. Oh, I guess that answers my question. USAID is also ridden with other scandals, such as covering up a child sex abuse ring in Kenya, kidnapping and torturing people in Uruguay,
Because
forced sterilizing
of
300,000 Peruvian women, and the famous one you all know, funding drug production in Afghanistan. Oopsie poopsies, we did little fucky wuppies.
There's plenty of opiates in, that island south of Australia where like majority of our poppies come from. Seriously, that's where majority of pharmaceuticals get poppies from. Tasmania, I forget exactly what it's called, but it's south of Australia, and it's just covered in it. It's almost the exclusive like market there. Like the entire world buys poppies from just that one country.
Now think about all the other that hasn't been exposed. These aren't mistakes, these aren't flukes, these aren't little fucky wuckies. This is what this program was set out to do. This is why it was created. We were quite literally funding Globo Homo as a sneaky way to do regime change and American intervention. Or do you think we're spending $1 million in Nepal to promote atheism because Hinduism is such a threat? You're cute. The United States won't sleep until there's an ugly progress flag hanging on Starbucks on every corner of every street all over the world from Latin America to the Middle East. Ah yes, the greatest American exports. Butt, sex, and war. There are a shit ton of old
So much butt sex. And not the straight kind.
left-wing articles you can find online spanning back to like 2010, even earlier, about how evil USAID is. Now suddenly liberals are acting like it's another fucking beacon of democracy that we have to cry and piss and shit about just because it's Trump getting rid of it. Frankly, I don't care. If they start dismantling things that I do care about, things that do actually help the American people, then I will care. Expose where the trillions of dollars we spent on the Iraq war went next, please. Or, you know, actually release the Epstein files.
Yeah. I guess we more or less did that, kinda, now. Progress. Slow, but it never comes fast enough. That's what she said.
Do I think DOGE cut USAID because they're our great comrade in arms, cutting off the tentacles of American imperialism? No. Trump probably just cut it because he thought it was a woke, gay waste of money, and it was. But as far as I'm concerned, every article written about how bad dismantling it was written by John Bolton himself. Like the president of Colombia said, take your money with you. It's poison. All the sources I use in this video and all the information I got for this video will be in links down below. Feel free to do your own research as always. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing. A lot of you aren't subscribed apparently. You just watch and fuck off.
Dude, I looked at my analytics for my second channel. 90% of the people that come in there and watch my videos, my stream clips, not subscribed. It's amazing how the internet works.
I will find you. Also, this video is most likely going to be demonetized, so if you can and if you want to, please donate to me on Patreon, link down below. It helps the channel so much, and I appreciate it. And I will see you next time with a less serious, more fun video.
Bye! She's totes adorable. And a menacing package. Again, boys, simp responsibly.
Hey, thank you for watching this clip from my live stream. Please comment below, like, and subscribe. And be sure to subscribe to my main channel, where I do all these live streams, and have my independent videos where I do deep dives. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, you are somebody, I am nobody, and I hope you have a fantastic day.